One of the things I make sure that I do is I get in the trenches with my team. How many people are willing to follow you?
Where do you see the landscape of sales right now?
I've got two different sets of 3 points that I think help any young salesperson. Number one,
how's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the BDC Blueprint Podcast. Hey, today we have a very special guest coming on here. It's our Chief Development Officer. He's been in the automotive industry for more than a decade. Massive experience, more of a home team guy, you know. I'm excited for this. And again, I am the Director of Marketing here. It's an honor and pleasure to do this with you guys. And let me introduce you guys the one and only Matt Uber.
thank you, man.
What's up, brother?
Appreciate it. What's up, man?
All good?
Yeah, absolutely.
How's everything been, man?
It's been a whirlwind, but it's been fantastic.
A fast 2 days, right? I think since we've been here.
Yeah, from my walk in the door and getting lifted up in the air to trying to absorb everything that we're learning, it's been fantastic.
Let's run that clip, actually, if we can right now.
Set those on 3. 1,
One thing you got to know about World BDC, we're amped up. We have Celsius drinks. The room is always like high energy, right? So when Matt came in, we had a few of our guys just like grab you, pick you up in the air, celebrate you. And I think that's one of the special things here. If you do anything, do it with passion, right? So one thing we like to show people, and sometimes we scare them away, sometimes we don't. You know, you were caught by surprise, but you were
absolutely.
You were like, hey, whatever, I'm already here. Let's run it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, man. You came all the way from Dallas.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Dallas, Texas. Were you born there? Were you?
No, so I'm actually from Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
So I lived in Richmond all my life up until about 14 years ago. About 14 years ago, my wife and I, at that point was my girlfriend and I, we relocated about 5 times for work for this one company. We wanted an opportunity to kind of grow, and I got an opportunity to move from Richmond, Virginia to Northern Virginia to Augusta, Georgia, back to Richmond, then to Dallas, all in about a six-month span. But when we landed in Dallas, my wife absolutely loved that spot and said this was the place she wanted to kind of set some roots in, and we've been there ever since.
One of the things about Texas I love is the food, Mexican food. I'm Mexican. Okay. One of the things that I don't like, and I don't know, maybe we'll have some beef here. I don't know if you're a big sports guy. You can tell me. The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I do like the Dallas Cowboys.
Are you one of the hardcore fans?
Yeah, I'm becoming less hardcore as I get older, as they continue to disappoint me, but yeah, no, I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm a big sports fan in general. Dallas Cowboys are the only team I like locally, though. So,
from Dallas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Every other one, like I want to like them. I want to figure out a way to become a fan. It's just something about each one of those other teams I just haven't.
Yeah.
And the most hateable team outside of Dallas would be the Cowboys, but something about them I did
well, it's America's team, like they say,
yeah.
people, you know. I mean, they've had a rough journey. I always mess with my buddy about that. I was like, man, you guys have struggled a bit. You guys have Super Bowls, but I think you guys are getting there, right? And one of the things I want to touch on today, I kind of want to start this and frame this conversation around is, where do you see the landscape of sales right now? You have a massive background in training salespeople, building sales teams, right? What have you experienced in the past, and where's your landscape right now?
So for me, I would say that over the past couple of years, the big thing I've seen missing, and especially in automotive, is just a lack of strong leaders, a lack of strong lead from the front style leaders. So one of the things I really try to emphasize is being that do first, say thing later type of leader. In sales in general, I think one of the other things I've seen is I've seen a lot of self-entitled salespeople over the past many years, people that want to go to the lowest hanging fruit but aren't willing to do the things that requires you to do to get to the point to where you've earned that. I mean, I've been at a variety of different companies that people come in and they've got this glamorous resume, but they're not willing to do the hard things that allow you to truly get the most out of your sales skills. So that's one of the things I would see that's changed. And I see some of the companies that have embraced the idea of a business development team, embraced the idea of cold calling, and really mastered that side of it. When you have that side mastered, you can always be in control of your own destiny. So for that, something that I've seen really
There's
change.
Something very good you said that, and thank you for that. Everything rises and falls on leadership. You can have all the skill, but there's that cliche quote, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. What are the first things you look at when you kind of audit a sales team or as you've been consulting throughout the years?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I look at is the leadership. I think that you can go all the way to the top. And one of the big reasons why I came here to Worldwide is because I spoke with Jason. Him and I spoke for about 5 months before I actually joined the team here. And one of the things I consistently heard from Jason and saw from Jason was the willingness to get his hands dirty. He rolls his sleeves up. He's in the office. Half the times I talk to him, he's walking through this office. And if you guys ever get a chance to come to this office, they're up, they're standing, loud, screaming. The environment is crazy. And he's in it. And he's not one of those leaders that's hidden in his office that is with the door shut in a quiet environment. He's right there in it. So I look for that. I look right at the leadership. I think everything starts and stops in any company with the people that are at the front of it.
One of the things I see is the presence, right? Whether you're outgoing or not, I don't think you have to be the loudest, but if you're sharp, if you come in professional, and if you're willing to learn, I think that's a key part. You've been doing this over a decade. What got you in the automotive industry?
I got into this industry because I followed a former leader in another industry, had left that industry, used to work in the wireless industry, and I worked at a company called Clearwire. They were acquired by Sprint. The guy that I worked for at Clearwire got a job at a company called Copart, which is not a wildly known organization in the automotive industry, but they're a Fortune 500 company, very large auction company. And he went to work there to be a head of sales for them. And he brought me in as a guy who knew that didn't come with an automotive background, but had a nature in the way I built business and did sales that he felt would be a refreshing aspect to his sales team. So I was somebody that brought in kind of like a new sense of way to attack it. And since I've got in, it was probably about 14 years ago, I haven't left since.
Many times you just never know who you're going to run into that might bring you down a path that you might not have thought, right? I tell people my story a bit. I'm a creative guy. I come from filmmaking, right? Working in different companies and being able to work in social media kind of got me the opportunity to see, wait, there's so many things in business that I think that you can do more, right? We're living in a world where we can expand this. For someone out there that's maybe thinking about starting in sales, what are some key things that they might want to know? Hey, I'm Zeke. I know nothing about sales, haven't really worked a good, job right now. What are some things that you can probably, some handles that you can probably give me?
Yeah. So I've got 3 points. I've got 2 different sets of 3 points that I think help any young salesperson. Number one, if you're young in your business, young in your career, I think one of the first things you should focus on is looking at your career opportunity as one of 3 things that it can bring to you. Number one, obviously it can bring you pay. Anything that we do from a work perspective should be something that we're getting paid for. But the other 2 things I think are so often underlooked in regards to how a young, new, entry-level style employee should look at an opportunity for a career to bring. And number 2, I would say, would be the skills that you can gain in doing that job. So are you going to go to the company that's going to help you become better the next day and help train you and add more skills to your tool belt? And then third, which I think is the most overlooked thing, something I wish somebody would have shared with me significantly earlier in my career, which is the value of establishing a strong network. I can tell you for the past 10 years, most of the jobs I've had have almost always come from the network. I created a consulting company for a couple of years, and almost every single client I did came through my network. So I tell everybody that's new in their sales career or new in their business career is you're going to explore what you're going to do next. Number one, look for a job that can pay you. Number 2, look for a job that can help build your skills. And number 3, look for a job that can establish and provide you a network of people. Now, I would tell you, the earlier you are in your career, focus less on the money, focus more on the skills, focus more on the network. If I came to you, and let's say I was Elon Musk, and let's say you wanted to be an engineer, and I said, you can come work with me for a year. I'm not going to pay you, but I'm going to teach you everything I know, and I'm going to give you access to my network. How many people who want to be an engineer do you think would take that role, and how many people would say no just because I'm not paying you? Focus on the skills, focus on the network, and the money will come. Second part of that, the other part of what you asked there, for a salesperson, I think sales-minded people, if they can focus on 3 topics, they'll always be able to be successful. Number 1, focus on your pitch. Number 2, focus on your pace. And number 3, focus on your attitude. You can always point to success or lack thereof is always going to tie back to one of these 3 things. So your pitch, that's just the words you say. That's the script you use, how you overcome objections. That is the easiest part of this to learn and for a new person to control. Number 2, it's your pace. That's your work ethic. So you can either improve the quality of your calls with your pitch or the quantity of your calls with the pace. So even if you're not good at your calls yet, you can always just make more calls. More swings at the bat is another way for you to ensure that you're going to get contact over time. The biggest miss for new salespeople and even sometimes veteran salespeople is focusing on the mindset, and I would attribute that to the attitude. So if you focus on pitch, pace, and attitude, focus on the confidence, the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm in your sale, all of those things will help your pace get improved, will help your pitch come off better. Don't as much focus on the pitch and the words you say, but it's more on tied to the attitude and how you say them. So for new salespeople, that's probably the biggest thing I have them focus on, because anything else, any other excuse that is not one of those 3 things, you can't change it, so why focus on it? Focus on those 3 things. Those are within your control. If you're self-aware and you have a student mentality and you focus on those, man, the world is your oyster in sales.
Hey guys, what's going on? Andy Elliott. I know you know Jason Miller, Worldwide BDC. Super important. If you're seeing this right now, it's because you're a winner. You want to go to the next level. You want to blow up your company. You want to create more showroom traffic. You want to create more sales. You want to make more money, all right? I love it. But let's get down to it. We're going to give you a free day trial, okay? Jason's going to come in. He made a bet with me. He goes, listen, anybody that signs up on this, by the way, sign up means no money exchanges hands.
Yep.
Okay? They're going to reach out to you. You're going to fill out the information on the link below. They're going to reach out to you. Number 1, they're going to freaking make more calls, more texts, more emails. They're going to do everything in your company for the next 3 days. Everything that you've always wanted your dream team to do, internet or BDC, they're going to take care of it. But they're also going to add something, okay? They're literally going to sell 5 cars out of your service drive.
Come on.
For free. So if I'm on here telling you that you need to do business with him, I told him, no charging anybody. I want you to earn the right to 3 days, give them all you got, earn the right to earn their business. And guess what? You can't ask for more than that. It's free. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And what you see is integrity, his pride, the way he takes care of his family, the way that he loves his team, but the way that he guarantees to get results and do it ethically. You're going to be blown away. So guys, click on the link below. Jason, we appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Let's change some lives. We got you guys. We'll be in touch soon. Make sure you fill out your information, email, phone number, full name. We'll reach out to you. Let's kill it.
How you do anything basically is how you do everything, and starting from essentially fixing the what you can control, which is maybe is your attitude, maybe it's your humbleness again to learn. And also, greatness is found in your work ethic long before it's found in your work. So if you're willing to work hard under someone, if Elon was listening right now, hey, Zeke, you can come and work for SpaceX. I want to learn from high-level leaders. If I want to buy back my time, you're like, hey, I want to get into sales. I want to catapult my career into something new. Hey, go work for someone. I think you said something very key. That's done it, that's doing it, and learn under them, right? How have you handled failures and setbacks when maybe, again, we're in a business, and I repeat it, where if the data sheet doesn't look correct, and if sales are not being closed, you're either in or you're out, right? Yep. So how have you handled your experiences when failures have come or setbacks?
Yeah, so if we're talking about setbacks or failures for me, I would say for me, I always go back and I look at coming back to the pitch, pace, and attitude. Because once again, those are the things I can control. I say, is there a better way that I could position my message so the customers will be more receptive to me? Number 2, can I increase my volume? Is there more people I can deliver this message to? And if my message is good and I'm talking to as many people as my physical work ethic will allow me, then I have to know it's probably something to do with my mindset. And that's, in all honesty, for most salespeople, when they go wrong, it's because they don't have confidence. And sales confidence is the most attractive thing that you can have, which is when you can speak about your product or about your service or about yourself in a confident way, people are receptive to that. When you don't have confidence and you doubt yourself, people can read right through that. And there's just so many mindset things that go to the attitude side. And I'd say that's typically the biggest differentiator. So I also I have a network of mentors. I have coaches that I work with as well. And, I have to be able to be humble with myself and know that I can't solve all the problems. There's probably some blind spots within me. So I've trusted people that I go to that I can, first off, be self-aware of what I can do and what I can't. And as long as I can give them the honest reality, then I know I have the people around me that can help me.
That's incredible. And having that wise counsel, right by your side. And you're talking to someone who's got years in the industry. You're talking to someone who has over a decade of experience. And for him to say, hey, I still have people running with me, coaches, mentors, that can look at me and obviously you want to be self-aware, right, of where you're going wrong, but sometimes life happens, and sometimes that the sales might not be where you want them to be, and that's where it can get tough on a confidence level. That's what you mean by that, because maybe there's guys out there that are like, man, but I was doing so good last month, I was doing so good last quarter, and what about now? Like what's going on? What's that lack of confidence? Hey, if you have people by your side that can coach you, that can tell you, hey, look at that pitch again. Hey, go back to the drawing board and figure that out. I think that's gold. I know you come from a very vast background of dealership experience and building teams, sales teams, corporate, big company, small company, running your own business as well, and now here with us, right? What have you done when it comes to expanding teams and kind of leading a team for someone out there that's maybe doing good, is maybe a good sales guy, but not a sales manager, right?
So for me, I'm a firm believer in the build from within type of strategy. I believe in taking somebody, and my big passion is development and coaching of young entry-level salespeople. And I could say in all the things that I might have accomplished in my career, some of the things I'm most proud about are the people that I've developed in that are now in executive level roles, that are leading teams, that are top sales performers. Seeing them come from where they were to where they are now is the most rewarding thing for me. I've taken over teams with seasoned people. I've taken over teams where I've built sales teams from the ground up. I prefer to do the ground up because I think in a lot of cases, for me, it's far easier for me to teach people how to do things the right way from scratch than in most cases when you deal with veteran salespeople. You have to unteach a lot of bad habits. You have to reteach kind of how you want it to be done or where it is to be. There's value when you have a humble, experienced sales guy that's willing to run next to you. But I could tell you, in my case, I would prefer to probably build a team from the ground up.
Okay, guys, we have a quick little segment here. We're going to do a little automotive trivia. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it going.
I'm competitive, so we'll see.
What was the first mass-produced car in the world?
I think it was called like Model T. It was at Ford, at least. I don't know.
Correct.
Is it right? Okay.
Yeah, you got that one right. There you go, 1 point for Matt.
Yes.
0 for Zeke. What does SUV stand for in the automotive world?
Man, I think it's a super utility vehicle.
That's incorrect, man. Let's add the noise. Wah, wah, wah.
What is it?
Sport utility vehicle.
Oh, okay. Got you. Close enough.
What is the most popular car color worldwide?
I would say white.
You sure about that one?
No.
Well, that's correct, guys. It is white. It is white. Last one. What car model is often referred to as the pony car?
Mustang.
Ford Mustang, baby. America runs on Ford.
Yes.
Well, there you have it, guys. We did a little trivia, man. Just kind of going back on the automotive industry, but we appreciate your time, man. And let's continue with the video. We talk all the time with the guys here. It's like, I don't know if you're gonna be here for 4 to 5 years, 10 years. I hope you are, but if you're not, man, I hope these seeds are planted in you from Matt, from Jason, from the leadership team here, that you can take and maybe go and build something. Because at the end of the day, if you really listen and you're making 250 calls a day, these are reps, and you're really kind of trying to if you're trying to perfect that, you're gonna do so much with it. You can do so much with it. And building, working with people is not easy, right? It's not. That's the reason I asked that question, because again, you mentioned something. You have the seasoned sales guy who maybe has experience and now he's part of your team, or you have the young guy who's like, well, I think I know better than the guy who's trying to teach me. But how do you maneuver through characters and different attitudes? I think it's very key.
Let me add to that, because there's an extra point to that when we talk back about lack of good leadership and a sales team that was void of that leadership, one of the things and the reasons why those leaders struggle managing those veteran salespeople, even the younger people, is because they can't do what they're asking their employees to do.
Wow.
They either can't or they're unwilling to do it. One of the things I make sure that I do is I get in the trenches with my team. I want to make sure that my team has no doubt that everything I ask them to do, not only could I do it, but I do it. They see me do it. They watch me do it, and they have confidence that there's not a better person in the organization to do that than myself. So that's my job first. If I can't do that, then I can't help them be as successful as they want to be.
That's key. Leaders lead from the front, right? Leaders
Absolutely.
go front. If you look at any army going to war, you see the leader right in the front. Hey, at the end of the day, this is me. I'm leading this team. I have to be in the trenches with people. And I think that's a key thing. Going back to just leadership, I think sometimes we forget. And it's maybe comfort, right? Maybe comfort gets to the point the money starts getting better, right? There's all these things, right, that can happen. But if you're out there, maybe you're at a point where you are killing it right now, right? Maybe you're top sales guy in your company, or maybe you've hit a place where you're stagnant. I hope these words resonate with you and you can kind of take it back and maybe self-evaluate, right? Okay, there's something that's got to change, right? There's something that I got to do to spark this.
Well, I'm going to tie back to what you just said there. And I think that one of the biggest things that I see those guys who have gotten comfort and who feel like they're past the point in their career to do those certain things, I think most of it's ego. And I would tell most of those guys, like, look back at the younger version of yourself, the reason you got to where you are, and look at your own ego and kind of how you look at yourself in that role. And if you feel like you're past that, something you got to look deep at yourself and say, can I do better at that? And secondly, I would challenge anybody who's felt like they've accomplished everything they can within their own personal career is, how many people around you are you making better? How many people are willing to follow you? Because you could be the best person you are on your team. And I've seen so many best salespeople within a company get into a leadership position, have no idea how to make people around them better. So I would tell you that's also probably an ego thing. So do your best to look at your own ego, look at your way that you are able to sell, and figure out a way to make people around you better. Because I promise you, it will make you more fulfilled in your role, and you'll get so much more out of what you're doing in sales when you can start making the people around you better. Because I firmly believe in that the better the people are around you, the better you'll be as well.
Yeah.
If you're the sole guy at the top of the mountain, it's an empty feeling. But when you can climb that mountain with everybody else, even if you're the first one up there, as long as you got some people to celebrate with at the top, that's what's more important.
I heard this quote once, and it said, excellence is not how things look when you do them, it's how people look at the end of it when they're done.
Yeah.
Right? That's true excellence. Man, look at the trail left behind me. There's a band of people that maybe I had the pleasure and honor of mentoring them, and now look where they're at. When you look back, it's like, yeah, sales matter and everything, but were you able to build people?
Yeah.
Were you able to help them grow, right?
Yeah.
We're here now, Matt, starting this new development process here at BDC. What is something you're looking forward to? What is something that you're eager, that you're excited about?
Right now, I'd say the thing I'm most excited about is being a student. So to the point you mentioned earlier, I've got over a decade in automotive. I've been more on the marketing and advertising side. I've worked for a couple of companies with websites and advertising. BDC in general is something that's fairly new to me, but that's an exciting opportunity because I get a chance to sit here and shadow some of these awesome BDC reps that you guys in the store are going to have access to, and hear the energy that they attack their day with, how excited they get when they set an appointment. That's something that brings this old man, this veteran in me, brings me back to a younger version of me, and it gets me truly, truly excited. So for me right now, the thing I'm excited about is being a student again, learning a new segment of this industry, and then from there, it's taking this thing and making it a rocket ship. We're going to have an opportunity to let a lot more people who don't know who Worldwide BDC is today. That's going to be a very different answer in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months, in the next 2 years. I think Jason and I, along with yourself, we have a mission to become a household name in this industry, and I'm very excited to do that. So that's the next step.
One thing we always say here, if they don't know about us, if they didn't know about us yesterday, and maybe they don't know about us today, they're going to know about us tomorrow. Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I mean, look, the biggest thing I could tell anybody out there who's interested in doing sales, the most important thing for you to figure out, the most important question for you to answer is, what is your why? If you're in this for a paycheck, you can make a lot of money in sales. If you're in this to learn new skills, there's a lot of people who can teach you new skills. And if you're in this to gain relationships, there's a ton of relationships to be gained. But if you do not know your why, then you don't know why you get up out of bed in the morning. Figure that answer out first, and from there we can build a plan to help you be whatever you want to be.
I love that. I always say this: if you don't know why you do what you do, then why would anyone else? So let's start from there, guys. If there's anything, take the practical, take the handles, right? But know your why, know why we're doing this. We're excited here to build alongside. Man, it's a pleasure to have you on. Like I said, it's been a rough 2 days, just running fast, running hard, but we're planning some amazing things for everyone out there, and especially in the landscape that we're on. How can people connect with you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, you can shoot me a text. You can call me. My cell phone's 214-436-6968. You can hit me on an email as well. It's just Matt at Worldwide BDC, pretty easy to remember. Or you can catch me on any of the social medias as well. Whatever's easiest for you. I'll be glad to set up some time, go through kind of what you guys are doing at your store, if that's something you're interested in, and see if we can help.
Well, there you have it, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to have the one and only Matthew Uber, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.
Thank you.